Well, it's a 1-0 defeat for Shrewsbury Town here at Scunthorpe United. Not a thriller and not one that will live long in the memory at Glanford Park. Lee Novak, a one-time target of Shrewsbury Town, of course, got the winner early in the second half. The start of the second half that Town just did not start. They didn't get out of the blocks. Boss John Askey's called it lethargic. He said his side didn't compete at all, which is, some quite critical words really from the manager, who, the bare minimum you expect, especially on an away day coming here, a team that haven't won is to compete, and they just didn't show any of that really at the start of the second half. Lost all the second balls, just sort of stood static really, while Scunthorpe just attacked and attacked. Really, and this was a game that was here for Town really. Scunthorpe were not up to much at all. They hadn't won here all season, and you could see why there was tension in the stands in the first half when Town were on top. Town looked much the better side to me, I have to say. But the problem is there, I suppose, without creating any real clear-cut chances at all. They didn't trouble Jack Anwick, who's a decent keeper for this level, and had a really easy afternoon. When they were on top in the first half, they just didn't test him. They had a couple of shots from in and around the box. Ollie Norburn and Sean Worley, who are better on the ball. They should be picking out back of the net, the corner. They were getting blocked, and again, Askey's blame that really. He says his side needs to start finding the corner rather than hitting bodies in the few chances they are creating. Town changed it around the hour mark after they'd fallen behind. They sent Big Aaron and Marty Holloway on and went 2 up top, and finally started creating something. Finally started looking more like the side they were in the opening exchanges. They started putting a few passes together. Scunthorpe dropped back. Town started sort of peppering the box and did create chances. I mean, on another day, Greg Docherty scores a glaring sitter really from a corner, in which Askey thinks they should have had a penalty as well on Luke Waterfall. There was another chance. I think Lee Angol blazed wide poorly, really a rash finish when you'd have backed him to do better. Worley was denied a one-on-one as well. So there were some really good chances after Town went behind, but I guess it's a lesson in taking advantage when you're on top really. Scunthorpe could have added to their total, but really in that 10-15 minutes start of second half, they made the difference when they were on top, and it was something Town couldn't do today. Town were worthy of a point, but you look back on this one and think that it was a nothing game, even really. It should have been a point, but it could cost Town. They've come out on the wrong side of it, and this was a day where you really wanted to start building momentum after that first win against Southend last week, but it just didn't happen, and it's back to the drawing board really for Town in training this week. Feels like a step forward and 2 steps back, and we'll have to see what they can come up with at the Meadow next week for a big game against Gillingham, who are suffering at the wrong end of the table too. For my report, analysis and all John Askey's reactions, stick on shropshirestars.com.